Well, welcome back. More than half of Americans now disapprove of how Joe Biden is handling the Russia-Ukraine crisis. This is only 40% say they approve of his overall handling of foreign affairs. This number down 16% from just 1 year ago. Brandon, good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us. Your reaction to these bad ratings?
Well, they're not surprising. I think the debacle in Afghanistan from last year is still fresh in people's minds.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was his biggest foreign policy blunder. And now we have a foreign policy situation that actually ties very closely with our economic problems in that we're going to see higher gas prices, even worse inflation as a result of these hostilities in Ukraine. So obviously people are concerned, and obviously people are frustrated with the way the Biden administration has handled this mess.
Well, it's pretty incredible, Patrice, how the world has changed. America has changed in 1 year's time.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, excuse me, at this point, most people thought that they'd be returning to normal. But everything feels anything but normal when you consider the inflation, the gas prices. You know, when you look at consumer sentiment, for example, you know, the University of Michigan, they found that it's hit a 10-year low. This tells me that consumers are out there, while they are flush with cash, they're sitting on some reserves and some savings. They're looking at the potential for a foreign conflict, saying, OK, how is this going to hit me? And I worry that this is going to show up in growth in economic GDP numbers this year, this quarter, probably next quarter. I think a lot of people are saying we are not going to be returning to normal as we thought.
Yeah, and I think we cannot underestimate the impact of a response from Russia. Even though these sanctions are weak, Brandon, the Russians might come back and really hit us with cyber attacks. I just want to point this out because there will be an impact from the Russia-Ukraine crisis on Americans' wallets. How do you see that impact? What is that impact? And I would add that one lawmaker over the weekend told me that he started printing out regular printouts of his bank accounts because he is fearful of a potential cyber attack from Russia. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the Russians fight dirty. There's no secret about that. Everybody knows it. And we're seeing companies across this country battening down the hatches because they're expecting cyber attacks to hit our private businesses, to hit individuals. It's an enormous threat. What we need here, obviously, as you mentioned, are tougher sanctions against Russia. But we also need to be prepared for the blowback because this can have real repercussions on the health of our private companies and the individuals that work for them as Russia fights dirty in response to their hostilities in Ukraine and our response.
All right. We will slip in a short break. When we come back, locked and loaded. The U.S. moving thousands more troops into Eastern Europe. What this means for the country as more countries impose sanctions against Russia after the break. And then don't miss my killer app special, exploring how apps we use daily can also have dangerous consequences. It's streaming right now on Fox Nation. Check it out. You're watching Mornings with Maria live on Fox Business.
I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna have to pay for this.